Okay, so I want to give a congratulations to Spain for winning the World Cup. And it seems like the rest of the world actually wanted Spain to win as well. I mean, I'm judging by all the memes going around. But this World Cup has been full of controversy. And I honestly hope it's the last World Cup video I ever have to make. But the orange whoopee cushion had to embarrass himself at least one more time. And I'm glad he got the reception that he got. That's some heartwarming stuff, isn't it? Let's watch it from a different angle. Yeah, there's no way Fox News can hide the booze on that one. But leave it up to the orange whoopee cushion to make it about himself. I mean, look how awkward this picture is. I mean, this is Spain's time to celebrate, and this guy's awkwardly standing there on the right. Let me show you the video. Like, seriously, man, get off the freaking stage. But I did find it funny that Spain's national football team officially edited out the Taco Tuesday guy from their photo. As they should. I mean, that asshole should not be in the photo anyways. But let's not forget, Taco Tuesday just recently said that he wants nothing to do with Spain. He wants to cut off all trade with them. But I guess when it comes to the World Cup, he'll make an exception. But I mean, just look how awkward he is. I mean, it's like inviting a jerk to a party and nobody wants him there. And you just want him to go home. Like, someone send Grandpa home. But like I said, I hope this is the last World Cup video I ever have to create. But my question is, was it worth it? Because unless you're a business that's a bar or a restaurant that sells beer, you might not have got the economic benefits that we were all promised. And to start off this video, I want to show a report from Global News. But before I start, I want to give everybody a reminder about my Buy My Coffee page as well as my Substack page. If you missed my video talking about the channel update, my channel has been demonetized, meaning that any of the ads that you're going to see on my channel, I'm not getting any revenue from it anymore. But I still want to keep the GTL community updated on what's going on, despite YouTube taking away my revenue. Now, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do that moving forward is to check out my Buy Me a Coffee page or my Substack website. There's no pressure for anyone to sign up or donate. It's only if you like my content, or if you get any value from anything I said. So check it out if you have time, and the links will be in the description below. Okay, let's get started with the first report from Global News.
The World Cup has now officially wrapped. But the final whistle on FIFA in the tournament's two Canadian host cities was blown nearly 2 weeks ago, with Vancouver and Toronto now past the teardown stage, looking to sustain economic gains.
Now, this has been one of my arguments for the past 2 or 3 months. It looks like it was a great party in Vancouver. I mean, I got my friends that were sending me pictures almost every day, and some of them got pretty drunk. But the party's over now, and the momentum that we got from it, is it going to continue? And what is the lasting legacy that we're going to get from FIFA moving forward? I said in many of my videos that when Vancouver had the 2010 Olympics, we got an upgraded Sea to Sky highway. We got a brand new Canada line that goes all the way from downtown Vancouver into Richmond and to the airport. We have new community centers in Richmond as well as Vancouver that are being used by everyday citizens. And we got a whole new neighborhood on the south side of False Creek. These are lasting legacies that Vancouver is going to have for the foreseeable future. It's something physical that we can actually look at and say, yes, this came from the Vancouver 2010 Olympics. Yes, it cost us a whole shit ton of money. And I still got a whole ton of Olympic swag that I don't really wear anymore. For the record, these are not my clothing. I just found these online. But mine, they're probably in a storage locker somewhere. But we have something to show for it. So my question is, with all of this money that Canada spent for the FIFA World Cup, what do we got to show for it?
What we learned about a World Cup crowd is that crowd was really looking for beers, wings, nachos, that kind of pub food.
And while bars and restaurants serving all that up benefited big time from the World Cup craze, other businesses bracing for a boost were left sorely disappointed.
See, this is what I was talking about. A lot of businesses in downtown Vancouver, unless you were on the Granville Strip, other areas like Gastown or even Robson, what I was told is that it was pretty quiet. Unless you're selling beer and nachos. But it really shocks me, on both sides of the border, Canada and the United States, how many businesses thought the World Cup would be a savior for all of tourism. Like this guy here in Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs, which didn't host any of the games, Yet he thought it would be a huge boost to Colorado's economy. Let me show it again because this is probably going to be my last FIFA video, so I might as well do it.
The tourism industry hopes events like America's 250th, Colorado's 150th, and the World Cup, even though it's not in Colorado, will be a boon for the year.
As I'm talking to hoteliers, depending on the type of hotel, advanced bookings are not great. But one of the things we are counting on is the FIFA World Cup will bring people to the United States. And yes, we are counting on the US 250, Colorado 150 celebration.
Yeah, this aged so badly. To a point where I almost actually feel bad for the guy. But like, relying on the 250, which nobody outside of the United States cares about, the FIFA World Cup, which is not even in your state or city, and Colorado's 150, well, refer back to like what I said about the 250. I'm just wondering what this guy's blaming it on now. I mean, they gotta blame it on something, right? Anyways, getting back to the report, we're gonna hear from a couple businesses that don't sell beer and wings, and see how they did.
Instead,
Unfortunately, very quickly, we came to realize how it would have a negative impact on us.
a dramatic drop in revenue, no laughing matter for this popular comedy club in Vancouver's downtown core that saw a 70% drop in business on its busiest nights.
The World Cup was a competitor to local entertainment options as opposed to one that would attract more people to the city.
Now, I think what the tourism officials on both sides of the border forgot to like think about is the demographic of people that are actually watching the game. They're arriving into the host cities to watch the game, drink beer, and eat wings. And probably drink more beer. And if they came to Canada, they had good beer. But what does this mean for all the retailers and other events that are non-related to FIFA? In one of my previous videos, I talked about how Granville Island, they have a FIFA watch party, or had one. And it devastated the businesses on Granville Island. Because the regular customers avoided it like the plague. And the people watching the game? There's not the right demographic. They just want beer and nachos. So you can sure as hell bet that a lot of businesses in the host cities, both in Canada and the United States, and I'm sure in Mexico as well, they're going to be glad that the FIFA World Cup is gone.
Games-related road closures hindering foot traffic so badly for this aquarium supply store within BC Place Stadium's security zone.
We don't really coincide with selling soccer merch or offering drinks.
It ended up closing shop entirely on all 7 match days.
People might come in to look, but it's not really helping us stay afloat if they're not spending the money.
I actually feel really bad for this business because they were like right in the middle of ground zero when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. They were on Beatty and Robson, it looks like, and kitty corner to where Jeff Courtnall used to have his restaurant. Yes, I'm old enough to remember that restaurant, and you would remember it from the 90s if you were from the Lower Mainland. But I'm pretty sure this aquarium owner is really glad that the FIFA World Cup is done.
Hotel bookings in both host cities also not seeing a long-anticipated surge, with occupancy rates stagnating at around 80% in Toronto, and even dropping some 15% from June of last year in Vancouver.
Literally the day after the turf started to roll up at BC Place, we had 2 big citywide conferences come to Vancouver. 4,000 people came in, and so that's the start of a really strong back half conventions business season.
So while select sectors may be looking to ride out the World Cup windfall, others won't be sad to see the games go, focusing instead on financial recovery and recouping peak season losses. Sarah McDonald, Global News, Vancouver.
You know, I have to admit, I'm really happy to be coming home, at least for a little bit. The only problem right now is that this next month and a bit is going to go by so damn slow. Yeah, I'm a bit homesick. I think you guys can tell. Anyways, what that guy said about the conventions coming in, like, literally right after World Cup left. 4,000 people are scheduled to come into Vancouver for a conference. And you can bet the demographic is a lot different. They're not just there for beer and wings. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the World Cup fans that came to Vancouver. But they're there for a specific reason. But who's the big winner out of this whole FIFA World Cup? I don't think it's the host cities. I don't think it's the retailers. Maybe the bars and restaurants because they did well. But mainly it's going to be FIFA. Because they're set to take in $9 billion in revenue. I mean, with the gouging of like ticket prices, viewership rights, and like merchandise, you guys remember how like they didn't put like price tags on their merchandise? Yeah, that was bullshit. I'm actually surprised it's not more than $9 billion. But I'm pretty sure that this guy's going to profit from it somehow. At least his family is. But travel to the World Cup, to the US. According to this Forbes article, it was flat, like 0.2% increase, compared to a year ago. I have to sneeze, but I can't sneeze right now. Anyways, travel from Europe, down 1.2%, and Asia, down minus 5.6%. Though Africa and South America, they were up, But for me, I compare the volume of people that are coming. And the bulk of the World Cup fans should have came from Europe. But the hotels were, I think, a bigger metric to me. I mean, flights from Europe going down, that was a big one too. But when the hotels started announcing that they were only at like 30% occupancy, or some of them said that they had no bookings, that was a big warning sign right there. And I just loved how the US tourism officials kept saying, oh, people will come when it goes into like the knockout stages, or people will show up when their team progresses. Maybe this won't be my last FIFA video, because if there is any reports from hotels or restaurants or tourism officials talking about the FIFA World Cup, I'm definitely going to rub it in their face. But this second bullet point here, let me read it out. A FIFA analyst predicted that the World Cup would inject $30.5 billion into the US economy, but his calculations counted on a huge influx of international fans who spend much more per person than US-based fans. Now, is the US anywhere near that $30.5 billion? I'm going to guess no. Maybe even hell no. I mean, hell, I'm even worried about Canada and whether Vancouver and Toronto are going to make their money back. Because even though we had watch parties all over both cities, and from a fan perspective, everything looked great. Everyone was celebrating. It was a giant party and everyone was having fun. I'm not denying that. But what I don't understand is that our tourism officials in Toronto and Vancouver, they're claiming that tourists for the next 5 years are going to be coming to Vancouver and Toronto just because of the FIFA World Cup. And if you ask me, that's like a hard thing to measure, unless you're going to be like standing at YVR and asking every passenger, are you coming to Vancouver because of the FIFA World Cup? I don't know, the tourism official saying that, it just sounds like a cop-out. But we have to remember that there were 16 cities total that hosted these games. And a funny conversation that I had with one of my colleagues here in Malaysia. I asked him, are you watching the FIFA World Cup? And he says, yeah, I'm watching every game. I said, no wonder you look so tired, because you're up to like 5 in the morning watching the game. I mean, time zone difference. But one thing I asked him is that, do you know which cities are actually hosting the FIFA World Cup? He said, no, I don't really care about that. I'm just watching the game. And then I told him, my hometown in Vancouver, we actually hosted a few games, 7 of them to be exact. And he's like, I have no idea. I had no idea they were in different stadiums. The reason I'm telling this is because these Vancouver and Toronto officials that are saying that the World Cup put Vancouver and Toronto on the map. This is just my opinion, but I don't think it really did. Because you got 16 cities total. And I'm sure many World Cup fans around the world really didn't care about what stadium or what city it was played in. And that top left screenshot, it actually reminds me, I don't think we ever heard the final bill what it's going to cost Vancouver. Someone needs to call them out on that. So here's my question. Was it worth it for Vancouver and Toronto? And I know if you ask a fan, he's totally going to say, yeah, it's totally worth it. But was the FIFA World Cup being in our cities worth more than the convention visitors, or those regular visitors that just wanted to come to our city, and those that would have spent more than just beer and wings? For me, if we got something out of it, some sort of legacy or some sort of infrastructure, maybe I would be a little bit more open to it. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Was the FIFA World Cup worth it? And is it going to be worth the price tag that we're going to be paying pretty soon? Okay, I just sneezed and I had to edit that out. Finally. Anyways, let everybody know your thoughts and comments below. Closing out this video, I would like to again thank Mayday 2026 from our Discord server for posting up this photo from Toronto, Ontario. I actually had to look this up. It looks like it's in the heart of downtown Toronto. I don't think I've ever seen it. But then again, I think the last time I was in Toronto was 2006, 2007? Anyways, thanks to Mayday 2026 for posting this in the Discord server. Alright everyone, I think that's it for this one. And hopefully it is my last FIFA World Cup video. But then again, if there aren't any reports coming from the United States playing the victim, you can be sure I'm going to call them out on it. But I'm also pretty positive that the reality is going to kick in for the United States pretty soon, that the FIFA World Cup was no savior for their tourism industry. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international point of view, without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and select all as well. Now, if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.